I am Dr. Chitrasan Padi, Associate Professor, School Agriculture, SR University, Warangal. So in this video lecture on rural leadership, I want to explain what is the concept and definition of rural leadership and types of leaders in rural context, and also methods of identification of rural leader. So coming to the initial slides, first we will see who is a leader actually. A leader is a person who influences a group towards for obtaining for getting a particular result, a leader always influences. A leader always influences, and also and also he is a person who guides and also inspires to get the result, and also he exerts maximum influence upon his following. Who are following him, he exerts the maximum influence. Maximum influence he imposes, and he has the ability to organize the group, and ability to organize the behavior of all the followers toward the attainment of goals and to fulfill the interest and goals and to fulfill the interest and goals to fulfill the interest and goals. Then, according to Orwell TD, define leadership as the activity of influencing people how they can work together and cooperate towards getting the desired goal, which they find desirable for the group, According to Daham and Bhatnagar, leader is a person who has been spontaneously considered as choosing influential. Means he is most influential people in the group who can influence and motivate others. According to Davies in 1977, leadership is the ability to pursue others. It is the ability to pursue others to seek defined objectives enthusiastically. Then what are the characteristics of leadership? Leadership is the result of group phenomenon. It is a group approach. Because he is a leader is representing the whole group. He is representing the whole group. And also the process of interaction, because interaction among the various group members always takes place in the meeting, outside any event, or wherever going, the interaction is the main aspect. Then it is a process of interpersonal relationship is there also in underlies leadership. Interpersonal relations underlines leadership. Then leadership is power. In leadership, power is created mainly through the integration of diverse purposes and the intelligent use of individual differences. Through the integration of diverse, there are various purposes. Integration of diverse purposes, there are various purposes. So integration of all these purposes, through integration of all these purposes, leadership is created, and how the individual use of individual differences, intelligent use of individual differences can be utilized. That is the main aspect of leadership. The interpersonal relations are influenced structured by the nature and structure of social system in which the group is placed, and it is also related to the situation. According to situation, the leadership varies. According to the situation or locality, the leadership varies. And the leader representing the whole group always motivate the group, whole group, always motivates the group towards the fulfillment of a desired need or goal, and always represents or speaks on behalf of the group, represents or speaks on behalf of the group, and also he helps this group in sorting out the plans always he saw the plans what can be done in the next year or next annual election plan, and also for achieving the goals, he took the very important role. And for achieving the goals, he took very important role. Then coming to what is the concept of rural leadership, leadership in rural areas requires particular traits. It is an interesting social phenomenon. In villages, the degree of interaction between leader and villages is high, and various groups in villages determine the pattern leadership in villages. Because in rural leadership very much important for the development of villages. Rural leadership is very much important in rural villages. Because in every village we can find some leaders, we can choose some leaders, we can call it the rural leaders, and who can influence the group in a particular direction for the achievement of the desired objectives, and also for carrying out any type of extension programs or rural development for implementation of any kind of rural development programs. If leaders are chosen, only they can help for what are the village problems and what are the needs and interests of people accordingly. The plan can be devised and the rural development programs can be implemented in a better way. So that is why the human relations approach is very much important, because most of the villages are ignorant, innocent, needy, and sensitive. So by discussion, what are the needs of them? What are the needs of them that can be found out? Needs of the people can be found out. Accordingly, by doing continuous meeting and participative approach, what are the problems of the people can be identified and that can be solved, and accordingly it will help for the implementation of the rural development programs. So what are the types of leaders you will see here? Operational leaders, popular leaders, operational, popularity, assumed representative type, and prominent and assumed representative type, and prominent talent. In operational leaders initial action within the group, because he takes place how the implementation how the activities can be implemented or operated in a better way. Then coming to popular leaders, it is based on liking. How much people they like him, or based on popularity, the leader is found out. The leader is found out based on popularity in the group. And what do you mean assumed representative? The individuals selected on act or behalf of a committee or group. Those individuals who elected on act or behalf of a committee or group. Then what is prominent talent? Prominent talent is some people are showing their talent, prominent talent or expert talent in various artistic work, artists, then musicians. They are expertise in a particular aspect of field. That is why this is called as prominent talent. Then coming to another classification, what do you mean professional leaders? Professional leaders are who is a professional leader? So professional leader means those are getting a particular or specific type of training in the field. They are getting a specific type of training in the field. For example, doctor, the engineers, they are getting MBBS training. Engineers are getting the B.Tech training, and the agriculture officers are getting the B.Sc agriculture training. Extension officer, Gram Sevak, agriculture officer, they are getting specialized training in their particular field. And what is lay leader? Lay leader means they may not have get the specialized training and not paid according to the work whatever they are doing. Example of a youth club president, village president, and Gram Sahayak, who are Gram president, Gram Sahayak. So they are called as, others called as voluntary, because voluntarily, without getting anything, any remuneration also, they are coming forward to help for the people. So their other is called as voluntary leaders. or local leaders or natural leaders or natural leaders. So what do you need? Lay leader. Then coming to classification as per modern research, autocratic leader, licensed by democratic leader, licensed by leader. Autocratic, autocratic, autocratic means he operates as if he cannot trust people. He always thinks that his subordinates are nowhere. Subordinates are never doing any work, and what they do, and that the employees paid to work, therefore must. We are giving salary means they must work. But he always thinks that his subordinates are never doing work. Then what is a democratic leader? Democratic leader, India is democratic country, all of you know, democracy, democratic leader. He always shares with the group members his decision making and what planning they are doing. And participation, as it is democratic leader means participation of all the members is encouraged in group activities. Participation. Then who is a licensed leader? Licensed leader, he believes that he will leave the workers alone. He will leave the workers alone. The work will be done. And he has no confidence in himself. Licensed leader has no confidence in himself and puts up or stop the decision making. He puts up or stop the decision making. Stop the decision making. Then according to Bernard, leader performs four main functions. Their determination objectives. First, the objectives should be found out. First, the objectives should be found out. Then manipulation of means. What are the means and objectives of the group? How that can be achieved, and so that people can benefit out of the fulfillment of the needs. And control instrumentality of actions means he initiates and controls the activities of others. Controls the activities of others. And stimulation of coordination action, always coordinate in a group. Coordinate for the achievement of the common goal and objectives by maximizing the utilization of the available resources. The roles of leaders in a group. A leader is a group initiator because he always take the initiation in the group. He always take the initiate in the group. In starting point, start the starting point in a group, any kind of activities. And then he towards for the always represent the groups and speaks for the whole group. Speaks for the whole group. And then group harmonizer. He is a harmonizer. Group harmonizer always tries to balance in the group. Tries to balance in the group. Group planner, he always plans for the group. Always plans for the group in advance. Then he is the executive. He starts for the execution of the functions of the group executive. The group educator or teacher, he always educates the other members of the groups. Anything he knows, always awards the groups. And anything he knows, always educate the group members regarding this. He provides the necessary training to the group members and exposes them to outside for getting further training and education. That is, he is a group educator or teacher. Then group symbol or symbol of group ideas. Group symbol or symbol of group ideas. He is a symbol of group ideas, means he represents the groups and also he is a symbol of the group because he always influences to the achievement of the desired goals. Group supervisor, he supervises the monitors and evaluates and supervises the every activities of group, whether all the members are working or not, cooperating or not toward the achievement of the goals, and also supervises the monitors the activities and also evaluates the activities done in properly or not. Then what are the methods for identification of rural leaders? One is sociometry technique, and sociometry technique is a technique that is employed in the village areas for the selection of the basically who are the innovative or the opinion leader in the village, and so this is basically this involves asking community members to name individuals that will follow or work for leadership. Based on this is choice based, choice. Interpersonal choices. So the person who is getting the maximum choices among the villagers is selected as the leader. Any sociometric technique. Then coming to observation method, in observation method, what happens? Leaders are directly observation method. Leaders are directly identified by objecting their behavior, participation, communication ability, and influence in group activities. Communication ability, and influence in group activities. Group activities. Group activities. A reputational method. What is reputational method? Knowledgeable persons or villagers are asked to name individuals. A reputational methods. Who is having highest reputation in the community, and the villagers will name him as the leaders. Who are the knowledgeable persons and most reputation in the village? Knowledgeable persons and having more reputation and respect in the community chosen as the leaders. Then come to position method. In the position method, what happens? The persons having important positions in village organization, such as the sarpanch, the village leader, teacher, or a cooperative president, they are identified as the leaders. And what is self-designated techniques? Since self-designated techniques, what happens? Individuals who claim themselves to leaders or show willingness to lead. And they desire to be the leader, choose them leader, that is, and they show their willingness to lead in the group. They show their willingness to lead in the group are called as the self-designated technique. Leaders, then judgment by key informants, extension workers, teachers, village leaders, or other key informants. Identify leaders based on the knowledge of the community. The extension workers, teachers, village leaders, other key informants. Identify leaders means what knowledge they gain actually. What are the various knowledge they are having about the community, about the agriculture activities, about horticulture activities, about the fishery activities, about all round activities, village, how much knowledge they are having. Based on this, the village leader is selected. That is called key informant methods. Then participation method. Individuals who actively participate in all kind of social program of the village, or all kind of developmental program of the village, and all kind of community development of the village, all kind of community development of the village, all kind of community development of the village. Based on this, the leader is selected. This is called as participation method. Then coming to achievement method, people with notable achievement in farming, they are having notable achievement in agriculture, social work, in educational field, and community development are considered leaders. The nomination method, people think that who is capable of guiding the others, who is capable of influencing the others, they choose him as the leader. This is called nomination leader. This is called nomination method. Then coming to communication pattern methods, individuals who maintain maximum contacts and communication, who maintain maximum contacts and communication with the group, who are always having the maximum contact and communication with the group, then they are identified as the leaders. Then what? Training of leaders. The term training is used to those activities aimed at improving the ability of a person. And training is important for the village leaders because for increasing the capacity building of the leaders is very much important because if he will get training only, he can train other members of the groups and so that the group can run function properly. So that is why it is the improving the ability of a person to his job. So how can you know the better the information? Then developing capabilities, attitudes that will result in attitudes that will result in greater professional competence, greater Greater professional competency. Greater professional competency. The potential leaders who are selected by various methods lack some of the essential traits of leadership. So that is why guiding them and training them is very much guiding them and providing training to them for increasing their capacity building is very much important. So what is the objective of the training? The objective of the training and the objective of the training is to develop the essentials of good leadership in the selected leaders, to develop the essential leadership in them. They have developed the essential leadership in them what are required in the village areas and to provide them a perfect understanding of the people, their culture, their standards, their norms, values, and to enable them to understand the group behavior, how people behave in group, and how to manage this. How people behave in group, how to manage this. They develop competence in group processes and teaching them the methods by providing, telling them they can develop the cooperative thinking, exchange and analysis of ideas. Cooperative thinking, exchange and analysis of ideas. Then coming to background courses in college institutions are also methods for training professional leaders. So background courses in college institutions, whatever they are studying, that is also one kind of training. The induction training, the in-service training means during the service, what kind of training they are getting in-service training. That is very much important. Then how can you identify the leaders and how can you provide the training to them? So there are two methods. Formal method is there, informal method is there. So in formal method, what happens? Lecture in one method. By giving lecture on a particular topic, the leader can gain the experience. And then discussion among the group members by various discussion methods, they can get the training. And then by doing workshop, a group of participants work together toward the achievement of a common goals by the influence of a leader, by the influence of a group leader, that is called a workshop method. By these methods, also the leaders are getting knowledge. Then forum panel, it is a forum panel is a public discussion program with experts where the leader can gain knowledge, sufficient knowledge. And then what is symposium? Symposium is a short series of events. Symposium is a short series of short speeches, a series of short speeches delivered by specialists. Then what is the field trip guy going to the field trip to various places by pursuing the various demonstration programs, research stations, specific kendras, and also various innovation technologies which we will it is developed by going through this. It can be identified. Then apprenticeship, working under the supervision and guidance of an experienced person. Apprenticeship. Then training camps. Then training camps. Then what are the advantages of using local leaders in extension? Because local leaders act as the extension teachers because they educate others. Cost extension reduces. Local leaders are not paid for the work because as they are remaining in their own village, they are not paid for the work. The cost of extension is reduced. And also local leaders themselves become better taught. And local people will believe their local leader more quickly, more readily as compared to the extension workers. And also from a local person, they accept the new ideas. Yeah, whatever they will tell, they accept the new ideas in a better way and very quickly. And the frequent of contact of the local leaders with the villagers raises his prestige in the society, raises his prestige in the society. Then persons selected leaders may not have the expected following among neighbors or may not be willing to devote required time to work or maybe poor teacher. And considerable time is required to locate, considerable time is required how to find out the village leader, considerable time. Okay. And local leader may try to use prestige connect with the position of personal advantage. Sometimes it may happen. Then what are the limitations of using local leaders in extension? What are the limitations? Limitations of using local leaders extension. The most difficult task of arousing interest on the part of those who means those are not interested in extension is too often left to the experienced local leader. In the more difficult task arousing interest on the part of those who are not interested in extension also, that is, if it is left to the inexperienced local leader, that is also very much important, very much important. Means if they are that is not convinced means that is one of the limitations in extension. If sometimes those are not knowing about the village culture, village problems, village people need identification interest, what are the local need and interest. If the inexperienced locality is getting that, that is, cannot arouse the maximum interest on the part of the people to be involved in extension works. And public recognition and policy, what are the public recognition and policy given to the local leaders may jeopardize their position and adversary affects their influence. So before going, you can summarize today's class. What today's class you read about the definition of leadership. Who is a leader means how he influences the whole group, how he influences the whole group, and what are the various kinds of character in leadership we studied. Then what the concept of rural leadership, how it is required, why it is required, how rural leadership can be developed in the village areas for the development of the whole village and implementation of all kind of developmental programs. Then type of leader you studied like operational leaders, corporate leaders, assumed very prominent talent. Then about professional leaders who are professional leaders, who are lay leaders, they studied. When classification as per modern research was the autocratic leader, they takes their they maintain autocracy type. They are in their own monopoly. In democratic leader means they share the opinion of the group. And the participation of all members they encourage. And licensed leader also, they are having no confidence in it, so they are unable to take the decision. Then what are the functional leaders you studied? Then what are the role and leader in a group like initiator, spokesman, harmonizer, how they plan from the group, how they execute for the group, how they are becoming the educate, how they provide the education to the people in their group. And they are a symbol of group idea, many ideas they are having. And they are acting the group supervisor. And then how can you identify the leaders like for example sociometry techniques this is based on the interpersonal choices in the community. They can find out who is the operating leader of the group. So maximum people are giving choices to a particular person means he is selected, chosen as the leader. This is called as sociometry technique. Then what are the various methods of identification of leaders like observation method, observing the reputation method, highest reputation who is having, position method who is good position in the society or village. Self-raising technique, people sometimes willing to take their leadership by themselves. Then judgment by key informants, extension worker, teachers, village leaders, or other key informants. Identify leaders based on knowledge in the community. And participation method, people who are actively participating in the social development and community activities are chosen as the leaders. Achievement method, people who are having notable achievement training, they are selected leader. Nomination method, group members nominate persons who are capable of guiding and influencing others. Communication pattern method, individuals who maintain maximum contact and communication with the group are identified. So in this way, the leader is selected. Then training and leadership is very much important for increasing capacity building of the trainers to provide them various kinds of training, influencing them, and so that they can help other members to develop and educate. And strategize the training is very much important for them. And because what is the objective of training you studied? How to develop the essential of good leadership, how to know the understanding people, to enable them to understand group behavior, how to develop the competence in group processes. Teaching them the methods to identify what are the problems, cooperate, develop cooperative thinking, exchange and analysis ideas. Then how can we identify the method of training professional leaders? How can induction training is there, in-service training is there? I mean, during the service, what kind of training is provided? And how can you identify the lay leaders? How can you provide them various kinds of training? For your lecture, you can give a discussion and simple workshop. You can conduct, then we can conduct the forum panel by a group of experts. We can do symposium for the training of them. We can conduct the field trip. Apprenticeship means working under the supervision of a direct experienced person for a few months or 1 year or 2 years. For a specific duration, that is called apprenticeship to getting the knowledge. Then organize various training camps are provided so they can be exposed to the training camps for getting the leadership qualities, for increasing their capacity building. Then advantage, local leaders, they can act in the extension agents, extension teachers, group of ideas. Cost extension can be reduced and local leaders, so they may be better taught and the people will accept them as compared to the extension workers. Then what are limitations? The most difficult one is because if inexperienced leader is getting that part or choice, so that will be very much problematic for the villagers. And public recognition also given to the informal leaders many times publicity may sometimes show their position and adversely affect their influence. So thank you all. So please like and subscribe this video. Thank you all. I'm closing the class now.